Welcome back to the Psychic Soul Healer channel. My name is Laura, and I'm going to do a general message for Sagittarius. Know that energy is fluid, so again, roles could be reversed. Just interpret the message as it best resonates for you. Never force anything. Know that the energy always goes to who needs to hear the message. You'll notice that part of the message sometimes resonates with, more you than the person that you're thinking of, or vice versa. And sometimes it twists, sometimes it doesn't. It's to whoever needs to hear it. I've had that actually happen where I went to get a reading with somebody, and the guy couldn't take both of us because he was sick and he really shouldn't have been doing readings. But long and short, my girlfriend went in to get her reading, and when she came out, she was so angry. And she started telling me her reading, and I said, "That's my life." And she was so mad because she was like, "I don't have a son. I'm not with this guy. My father didn't have back surgery." Like, it was everything that had to do with my life. And really, I was the one that needed the message, even though the time she was like, "No, I'm going first because I wanted the reading. I need the reading." But really, the relationship was not as important. It wasn't a soul relationship that she was in. The relationship broke apart. And from a spiritual perspective, that relationship wasn't going to change her life. However, where I was in my life, the choices that I would have made if they were, I was being warned about the person that I was dating. I was being warned about just my life, how to live my life. So again, the message will always go towards, even if you're going with someone, even if you go to get a reading, you're like, "I don't feel like this is me." Sometimes it's a person that you're connected to. That's someone that's thinking of you all the time. Remember, if someone's really obsessive about you, a lot of thoughts, a lot of emotion, well, now you again are going to get their reading. I've had it happen. I've had it happen to me where literally they were like, "Go and equalize yourself." They told me to like pour urine on my head. They told me to take bad spiritual gurus. I'm saying, when I say they, when I was like, I'm getting like my husband's ex-wife's reading, and I was like I'm getting her and I'm not her. And the reason why was because she was thinking about me so much that I had her energy all over me. So like I said, if you're finding that, you keep getting readings and your readings aren't really yours, that's the reason why. Now, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, all you need to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the word of the day. The words of the day today are going to be clear karmic programs of intolerance. Now, if you notice, there's a U in the intolerance, and there's no U in intolerance. But when you are not like being around things that are not, that you're not tolerating, it means that it could be like you're allergic to it, you have a reaction to it. If you're not allergic to it, it could be, again, something that's toxic. You get a reaction from it, whether that's emotionally, mentally, it throws you out of balance. So when we force ourselves to make something work, that is, again, when we need to clear programs of intolerance, because nothing good can come of that. If you're someone that is, continually putting up with things that you really can't stomach anymore, then what you're doing is you are sacrificing your life. You're becoming a martyr, and not a martyr for a good cause. You're just a martyr to like really avoid living your own life. So really, like, a lot of times there's a very fine line between doing the right thing and sabotaging ourselves or sacrificing ourselves. And whenever we're doing things that, again, that just doesn't that it doesn't fit us, where we have an adverse reaction to. It's because we outgrow it, and we need to embrace the fact that we've outgrown it. But a lot of times that means disrupting our environment. So I don't know if this has anything to do with you, Sagittarius, but I feel like you're in an environment where you're like, I just can't live like this anymore. And it's because you're not getting what you need. And it's okay to change. Sometimes this happens if we got married at a young age. Sometimes, again, we wind up in a relationship, maybe when we were at a low and we feel obligated to be there for whatever it is. But a relationship, in order for it not to be codependent, there needs to be balance. We need to be able to go with the flow. And when we get to a place of intolerance, it means that we're not really able to, like I said, be truly ourselves. So we're going to look and see what's going on with your person. Let's look at some hidden truths to just see where they are, because that will tell us. And either way, it's not a good thing, because if you're intolerant to them, it's like, well, whatever they'll do, it doesn't really matter. Like, unless they change. Okay, I regret lying to you. So again, this person, again, you're connected to someone that I feel like is a diabolical liar, someone that lies a lot, someone that and doesn't need to lie. It's almost like a reaction, like they grew up in an environment where they didn't feel safe, so their automatic response is a lot of times to lie. And so this person didn't need to lie to you, but they were afraid of you getting close. They have feelings for you, is what I feel, but afraid of getting close. So many things remind me of you. So they tried to put you out of their mind. They tried to walk away, but this is a spiritual connection, which is why everything reminds them of you, right? Because understand, when you like have unfinished business, which is what I feel here. And this is why you're like, I want to clear karmic programs of intolerance, because I feel like you're connected to someone that when there's arguments, you never really get to the bottom of it. You never really clear it. It never really gets healed. It never really gets, there's avoidance. There's triggers, and there's automatic responses there that are, like I said, more projection. Like, I feel like your person needs to heal, and like at this point, until they do the healing, you would stay intolerant, because they don't want to have a conversation. They would they'll stay in this like limbo state of giving nothing, is what I feel like. Like, you're just intolerant because you need more, and this person didn't allow you to really ever give more. They never accepted anything from you, but then they never gave anything either. But then they gave a lot of mixed messages, and they really had feelings for you. And they really need to clear karmic programs of intolerance also, because the way that they conduct their life is not really working for them right now. So I wish I could take back my words. So they're in this deep regret. It's time for me to heal now. So I'm glad that they at least know that this is what they need to do, because their life isn't working, which tells me that you walked away from them. I believe that you walked away from them. I want to look at why is this relationship happening? I feel like you also were like, I would need to clear programs of intolerance, and you're like, I'm not tolerant to you and how you treat me, and that you walked away. And so, like I said, that's why they're in regret. Please send me energetic support. Use the frequency of love to uplift me, because I need your help. So your person believes that this is a soul connection. I think that they feel like they're getting karma for how they treated you. So I believe, like, some of you might be very spiritual, or they perceive that you dabble in the spiritual arts. And so they feel that because you're connected to them and that they see that your life is good and they think the way that you live your life from the spiritual perspective. And I believe that your person is not in a good place, and not just because of what they did to you, but I believe that there's a lot of things in their life. And I've been getting that a lot lately, like the same kind of theme where like persons in my entire life. So people are going through like these changes right now, I believe spiritually. Like if anything in our life is like not really built on strong ground, like it's not ethical, that it's not built on God's law, the laws of the universe, the laws of nature, the laws of love, all these laws are the same laws. Well, if they're not built on those laws, they're falling apart right now. And so, like, I believe that the person that you're connected to was connected to a lot of things and everything in their life that, which was a lot, but anything that was in their life that wasn't working, which, like I said, was a lot. I feel like their job, their relationship, I feel like people like that were close to them, it's coming to a tower moment. And what they feel is that they still have this energetic feeling and love to you, even though they're going through this whole transformation and awakening process, which is terrifying to them because they don't really understand what's happening to them. They just feel change. There's remorse, there's regret, and there's a need for them to like figure out why this is happening to them. And for whatever reason, because you're a spiritual person, they feel as if you have compassion to them. They feel the connection with you, and they feel like you could help them through this process. But the truth of the matter is they didn't treat you well. So even though they have these feelings for you and there's this connection to you and there's so much regret on the way that they've treated you, they're not in a place to really come to you right now because it looks like their entire life is falling apart and they're in regret and they don't feel good about who they are. I am walking home to you. I'm not sure where I am on the path, but I am walking it. So again, they are going to come back to you. But I believe that the irony is that this person feels bad about how they treated you. They never let you in close. And they didn't let you in close because clearly their life is not what they pretend that it is. And so they lied and they manipulated. And I feel like they gave so little to this connection that you just like walked away. You got tired of it. You were like, I'm tired of like not being heard. I keep telling this person how I feel that they need to, how I would like to be treated, and how I feel that they're treating me is not really fair. And I'm not really going anywhere. So now it's become just this intolerant thing that I have because I do have feelings, but then this person doesn't treat me right. And they kind of expect me to stay like this. So you had no choice but to like dispose of them. And I feel like they lied. How they lied to you is they really have strong feelings for you, but they pretended that they didn't because again, they're attached to other things. But now that they're going through this awakening, that everything that's in their life, that, you know, what if it wasn't built on truth, it's coming down, but you were the truth. And so what they're seeing is that because they actually still have feelings for you. And so this is, we are one. Don't let fear get in the way of this truth. So they're afraid that possibly you're going to have fear because again of how they treated you, which is what I'm feeling, you know, so they have some anxiety now is what I'm feeling. what I feel, which is kind of good because you want this person to be different than how they were before. You want them to be open to you. I'm gonna put one more on this deck and let's just see. I know the universe works in mysterious ways, but sometimes I judge the situation instead of surrendering to it. So they realize that they've gotten triggered by it. And I think that you get triggered by it also, clearly, because it was intolerant, to you, but that's the whole thing. This person didn't really know the difference between their life. I feel like they felt that their life was good, in spite that it was empty in certain places. I believe it was good because it was superficially good. It looks good from the outside. They have money. They have maybe drives a nice car, lives in a nice home, has nice hobbies, but there's still an emptiness to them because they're connected to things in their life that really they're not tolerant to anymore, but they kind of were compensating for that. So when you came into their life, they weren't really planning on for any of this to happen, but I believe that they grew feelings for you. I don't think that they knew that they had feelings to you, for you, and not really until you walked away. But you kind of had to clear the programs of this intolerance of their behavior in order for them to really look to see that really they're that way in a lot of different areas in their life, and the areas in their life are really falling down, coming apart, not going to be there. So again, this actually worked out in your benefit because they're seeing, even though their life is collapsed and everything falls apart, the one thing that still remains is the connection that they have with you and wanting to fix it. And they are coming back, but they don't know where they are in their process of coming back to you, most likely because of, like I said, the changes that are happening in their life. This person is changing everything in their life. That's what it looks like. Now, I want to see what triggers that you'll have to deal with being connected to this person, because it seems that, like I said, it didn't start off on the right foot in order for you to have to walk away. So, however, I believe that your person learned. So you'd have to, if you wanted to pursue this relationship, obviously give it a chance, but we always want to know what the karmic cycles are, what the karmic themes are, and here is sadness and sorrow. So really, no one should be able to make us feel a certain way. So like if a person is continuously not showing up for us, and we're sorrowful, like we don't, and the fact that we're like they're, we're so sad because they're not in our life, they're not giving us what we need. We need to ask ourselves if we're not giving us what we need, because no one should be able to make us feel sad. A person could do something that makes us sad, but that should not change our entire state of being because of that incident. And if a person continues to do it, we need to say, well, how do they make us sad? Because sadness could be, if a person deliberately, they don't show up, or they're, deliberately are mean, then that's a different thing than we're sad because our person emotionally isn't giving us. Well, then you need to ask yourself, are you emotionally giving? And do you play with this person? Because a relationship isn't just about, the work part and, and the bedroom stuff, but there's actually like the friendship part, the trust part, the when we are fully invested in our life and passionate about the things that are going on in our life, we can't be sad and sorrowful. And if we're doing that and our person's doing that with us, then we shouldn't be sad or sorrowful. We shouldn't be holding on to any type of energy, because the entire time that we are interactive in life, we're always creating new life. Because when you're interactive in life, you're always meeting new people, learning new things, and that opens up new opportunities and triggers different inspirations to go off by what you notice in your environment, who you interact with in your environment. And again, that opens up into new worlds that takes you out of past worlds of sorrow and sadness, because we all experience sorrow and sadness. The problem is that if we stay in that place, it's okay. We're supposed to feel our emotions, but feel through them, observe them, and then work through them. But if I stay in a place of sorrow and sadness, it's because I'm bound to things that really, at this point, are not working for me. And that's really what I see here. Like, really, I feel like your person needs to clear karmic programs of sorrow and sadness, because they're bound to things that really they've grown out of, that they're intolerant to, which again, you being connected to them because they are a soulmate and you do have feelings for them, you're experiencing sorrow and sadness, which again is why you actually cleared the karmic program, which is why your person is on their way back to you. Well, we went full circle there, but when we're saying, okay, well, if we don't heal the sorrow and sadness, what would happen? Pretending. You act like it's all fine, but you aren't happy. So again, this is what would happen. So you would pretend, and then that means that your intention really is like, your intention is, I want to keep the peace, but then there's a belief that you have to be around things and be tolerant to things that you don't want to be tolerant to. And that includes behaviors that this person does. If you didn't set your boundaries, if you, again, didn't do what you did, but really what I see is, again, this energy came up like it was like clear the karmic programs of intolerant. And I thought maybe at first was like, again, your person, but really you were the catalyst. You were like, I'm not dealing with that and this from you, because you're asking me to sacrifice, and that keeps me bound to like not really being happy, which is most likely a way that you felt growing up. A lot of times we inherit, like, again, these karmic experiences until we go back into a situation and kind of relive it and do different things. And here what I see is that you actually set the boundaries. And if you didn't set the boundaries, then you need to set the boundaries in order to really clear the sorrow and sadness. And sorrow and sadness comes from, again, not getting the emotional support that you need and pretending that everything's fine when it's not really fine. And that's when, meanwhile, you're really connected to this person. This person has very strong feelings for you. They believe that you can actually heal them. So there was a realization to it. So like I said, we can actually see the importance of this relationship. So what does the universe tell us to do? Because what I see, like I said, is there's feelings here, and understand with a soul relationship, there is unconditional love. So understand this is a general reading. Some of you guys are going to be with this person. Some of you guys aren't. And it depends on the day and it depends on the mood. But what I will tell you is when it's a soul relationship, 99% of the time, you will be with this person because you cannot destroy unconditional love. Now, you can cut your nose off to spite your face, however. So what I'm feeling on a psychic level, because like I said, this is a general message, so I'm not going to pull the message. This was more about the healing that needed to be done or that was done in order for this person to change, because this person is changing. But inevitably, you're the person that created that change through changing yourself, by clearing the programs of intolerant behavior, by getting rid of this person. And what you did was you called their bluff. What they kind of wanted this, but didn't know what they were doing. And they really, because they needed to break away from, again, things that really were not serving their purpose. So we already know that this is soul relationship, but that doesn't mean that you were not going to get triggered. It doesn't mean that it's not a hard relationship, Sagittarius. What it means is, what other tidbit of healing information does the universe have to help us navigate through this relationship where it started off not so hot? They weren't 100% honest. They didn't let you get that close. They breadcrumbed you. They made you not feel that great about yourself. Again, there was a sense of where it was intolerant to you, where you had to get rid of it, where you had bad feelings. So like you said, they have the power to do that still. But there's a sense of deciding to be with this person, but we want to know, how can we get through this type of situation that is triggering? Because clearly we see that just because you get together with this person doesn't mean that they're just automatically going to stop triggering you. If it's a soul's relationship, past life relationship, you better believe they're going to still keep triggering you. If it's a twin flame relationship, even more so, because these people have been brought into your life to pull out your wounds, to make you look at the shadow aspects of yourself, to see what is not tolerant in this story. So in order to change it, by changing yourself, this person that you're connected to, Sagittarius, would have never had the guts to do it unless you would have cut them off, which shows us again how unconditional love always wins. But we also see being true. Look, perfect end to this, because the universe says, being true, I am true to myself and others. I remove my mask and stop creating illusions. I have confidence in who I am, and I reveal all the good in me. I do not need to hide or prove anything. I replace shame with the power of love and truth. So understand, a lot of times when we are putting up with people and situations that are not tolerant to us, it's because we're not being true to ourselves, right? So the Spirit was like, you have to be true to yourself, to stop pretending that things are okay when they're not, which is what you did, Sagittarius. Either that or the person you're connected to did that, which inevitably made both of you change, because this person didn't really want you to leave, you know, or vice versa, but they gave you no choice, you know. So what they saw is, well, now my life without this person is bland, and what I'm seeing is, I don't really like the people that are in my life. I don't really like what's going on in my life. I don't really like, it's an inventory, and they were willing to sit on it, to be uncomfortable and sit on it, because they were still too afraid to change. But really, through the, you know, the disgust of it over time and you leaving, then they couldn't take it anymore. They were like, well, I really can't live like this. And then the people in their environment also weren't getting anything, and they were also, so it just created the whole change, which your person really needed to change, but they wouldn't have made that change unless you made that change. But once you made the change, then that was able for everyone else, including the people attached to this person's life, make the changes that they needed to. Because people, again, tend to live, you know, out of balance and overcompensate and put up with things that they wouldn't, because on some level they do care. However, being intolerant doesn't necessarily mean you dislike the person, or you you know, it just means it's something that's in your life that's really creating like negative energies, holding you back. It's blocking you from living your best life. And so, like I said, we have to know that in order to live our best self, we have to really be our true self. And that's what this said here. I'm going to leave that there. Again, if you resonated with this video, Sagittarius, please let me know. And you can, again, like the video, subscribe to the channel, write for your karmic programs of intolerance. And if your comment bar, you'll know if I chose, if I wrote the word winner underneath your comment. If I did, you and I would just correspond back and forth on YouTube. And I will post the link of your free reading the day of your reading, so you can find it right underneath the comments. So you don't have to look anywhere else. I won't ask you for your email. You don't need to email me. It'll be right there. And if you subscribe to the channel, then you'll get notified. All right. I'll see you all soon. Bye.